I think we should just get started. So we have Fran today from Calimero, and Fran is going to be speaking about the Calimero console and private shards. So yeah, I've dropped Fran's Twitter in the chat, and scroll all the way up, and you can follow Fran there, and you can follow Calimero Network there, and you can also follow me and Encode. But I'm going to stop talking now and hand over to Fran so he can introduce himself.
So first of all, let me introduce myself. I'm Fran. I'm a software engineer at Calimero. And yeah, I'm excited today to present what is Calimero and what Calimero does. And this workshop is going to have 3 parts. First, I'm going to show you a short presentation about Calimero, then live demo. At the end, I'm going to show you 2 examples so you can also join in. You will just need to create account on Near testnet, so you can join our private charts to do voting and also to play the Tic Tac Toe game. So yeah, this is basically it. Let me share my screen.
That sounds super fun.
Okay, you can see it. So yeah, just before we start, if you want to join the examples that I'm going to show at the end, you can check this testnet wallet. I'm going to leave the link down in chat. So yeah, you can create your account. So we are going to be faster, so you can faster join the examples. And yeah, let's start with the presentation. So enterprise blockchain simplified. So Calimero is basically designed in a way that is suitable for enterprises, and we label this as enterprise blockchain simplified, and you will see exactly why in this presentation. So first of all, let's start a bit with the history of Calimero. Our founders worked in Near Protocol as infrastructure engineers, and they started Calimero as an enterprise spin-off from Near Protocol, same as Pagoda or Aurora, which are also spin-offs from Near. They gathered really strong engineering team, marketing team, and operations team, which built scalable Web 2 and Web 3 solutions at Fortune 500 companies before. And some of our employees worked in Google, Uber, Facebook, Tesla, and others. We were also funded and backed by first investors of OpenAI, Airbnb, Stripe, Docker, and others. And some of those investors are Khosla Ventures, Near Protocol, and Lyric Ventures. So yeah, Calimero is currently working on giving everyone one-stop solution for the blockchain adoption. We have this Web 2 enterprise blockchain dilemma. So if you have an enterprise, you need to choose which blockchain you will choose for your company. If you're going to choose public blockchain, everything is going to be public to other people. Everybody is going to see the transactions. So this is the not right approach. And we know that zero knowledge is not a silver bullet for everything. Also, we have permission blockchains, which are better because everything is secure and private, but they can't interact with other public blockchains or networks. And here is where Calimero comes, because we are something in between. You have the privacy of permission blockchain. Nobody can see your transactions and data sharing, but you can also connect to the public blockchains. Private shards are federated, permissioned, interruptible, and open sourced. So introducing the Calimero. So what is Calimero? Calimero is basically a sidechain of Near Protocol, and you can also have multiple sidechains on top of Calimero. Calimero offers unlimited speed and scalability. We also support Near WASM and Aurora EVM compatible contracts. Data in private chart is only visible to owners, contracts, and clients who have the right permissions. And if you have external wallet, you can also set the permissions so other users can only do certain things in your private chart. Private shards are also interoperable with public mainnet and other private shards, as said before, and are available as service on and on-premise. So currently, Calimero mission is that we have our product Calimero console, which wants to provide AWS or Snowflake's experience on blockchain, because currently on console there are a lot of tools that help you manage blockchain, and everything is really simple, everything is one click, and everything is fast. Also, onboarding existing open source projects ready to address enterprise challenges are really easy to onboard. And all this provides you the ability, if you are a business owner or you want to use private shards, it provides the ability to focus on the product and not to reinvent the wheel, because we handle all the infrastructure side for you. So private shard, I don't know if you are familiar with the sharding, but basically what sharding is, it is a common concept used in databases and blockchain, where the network is split into smaller partitions. In blockchain, this is used to separate the traffic from one chain to different chains, to multiple chains, so the transactions are being executed faster and that the network is not congested. We dedicate a separate partition, shard, where you can safely store your data without compromising on confidentiality, while preserving all the benefits of using blockchain and interacting with the others. Here on the right, we see an illustration. Imagine you have a company A and a company B, and they are running their own private shards, and in the middle, for example, it can be near mainnet. We see that the blocks are being created and the data is being shared and transactions are happening, but not all data and transactions are being shared with the other shards and the mainnet. We see that the company A can share, if they want to share it, data with the company B also with the mainnet, and you can also fetch the data from the mainnet to your private shard. So we have two types of shards. We have community shards and enterprise shards. Community shards are basically for DAOs and social groups. They provide storing data privately. And also imagine if you have a DAO in private shard, you can do all your DAO operations privately without anybody from the outside seeing it. So you can do private smart contract voting, and you can also do private treasury management and also have private smart contracts between the members. On the other side, enterprise shards are usually privately owned, and they are for specific use cases. They are used to protect the data from outside the public mainnet, for example, and they can use all the benefits of open source blockchains. Also, we sustain large number of transactions. Currently, we support up to 200,000 transactions per second, and if you compare that to any other blockchain, is pretty much uncomparable. Also, using enterprise shards provides for enterprise to focus on the product itself and not have to worrying about the infrastructure side. So how did we get these amazing results? First of all, we have built a bridge between shards itself and also between mainnet, testnet to Calimero shards. We built a fully trustless, realistic bridge, and we call it like this because the transactions that are being executed over the bridge are almost instantly. You can transfer assets like fungible tokens, NFTs, and execute cross-shard calls. These executions take for 5 to 10 seconds to execute. We also have Bridge SDK, which is for clients and for contracts, so you can easily interact with the bridge. And if you want to learn how Bridge is working in depth, you can check the Calimero documentation and also read the blogs on our Calimero network page. Also, there is a YouTube video on showing you how to bridge fungible tokens from near testnet to Calimero private shard. So the enterprise blockchain operating system, if you followed near lately, is a new term. So Calimero is enterprise blockchain operating system because we handle almost everything for you. We see here the top overview of Calimero. So we have private shard, which is, as said before, customizable network, which supports WASM runtime and EVM runtime. On top of that, we have the infrastructure, which is consists of gateway, bridge, KMS, indexers, and others. And on top of that is the Calimero console product, which helps you manage your shard with few clicks. You have the dashboard, marketplace, permission management, network management, and contract management, and also Oracle features that we offer on our console. So Calimero console, it offers you a fast start to launch your network in few clicks. It also allows you to deploy the bridge in a really short time. You can forget about the infrastructure side and focus on the application itself, on your product. As said before, we have the dashboard, so you can monitor the resources. You can scale up system when needed, add more validators, add more RPC nodes, and you can analyze the data on chain. Also, we have the marketplace, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can deploy contracts in one click. You can deploy something like NFTs, fungible tokens, oracles, AstroDAO, and Spin. Also, if you have a product, you can sell your solution together with us. It can be available through the marketplace for other companies or users to use. So workspaces, we see here an image of private shard, and we see that we have multiple workspaces in the shard. So workspaces are basically a representation of ownership in the shard. Workspace can be owned by a DAO or organization, and it's used for decentralized governance. So basically, multiple organizations can run a private shard, and they can together control, for example, console treasury management. Also, Cloud Connect. So using our Cloud Connect features, clients are able to roll out private shards with few clicks onto their own infrastructure, removing any barriers to entry as well as any privacy concerns, as you will then manage your own data and not us. So we also support a range of cloud deployments and on-premise for enterprise based on different company needs. Wallet integration, so integration with partners. We have wallet integration, we have Miner Wallet and Meteor Wallet. Miner Wallet I mentioned at the start of the presentation. This one is the one we are going to use to connect to private shards. So this provides simple user-friendly experience. You can easily manage digital assets, track transaction history, monitor balances within the console. We also support integration with projects built for Near, such as marketing, analytics, and other projects. And users can easily start using any of those projects. Also, if you have an interesting idea or a startup and you're interested in Calimero just to see how it works, if you want to build something on top of Calimero, please contact us on our email so we can provide for you free access to the Calimero console. And this is basically it. We are now ready to do the live demo of the console. Let me just, okay. So first, when you log into your Calimero account, after registration, you can enter your credit card and you can start creating your own private shards like this. So you can choose, for example, developer shard, which is $279 per month starting. And you can just enter the shard name, description, create shard, and everything will be ready for you to use. We have the dashboard. Here is where all the important data is being shown. You can see the environment this shard is being deployed in. It's the testnet. You can see account, transaction, block height, validators, RPC nodes, and events indexer. You can also check the status of validators. Currently, this is the name of the validator. It's near Lake Indexer. It is indexer and a validator at the same time. Also, we have the endpoints table. Here we have RPC endpoint and indexer endpoint. RPC endpoint is used to query blockchain data and do blockchain calls, transactions, and it is mostly used in the centralized application to connect your front end with the private shard data. Indexer. So with indexer, you can take all the blockchain data off-chain, so you can analyze it in your own server or whatever. We also have an explorer. On the dashboard, you can see latest transaction, latest blocks, transactions, blocks, accounts. You can see all the accounts available in the private shard. You can see the native balance. You can search for certain accounts. You can see the blocks, transactions, fungible tokens, and non-fungible tokens. Also, for the accounts, you have a details page where you can see the transactions that are going on, storage used, balance, and validator stake. You can also see the transactions. And for example, this transaction was a function call, which I called earlier. And you can see the hash, status, when it was created, who signed it, receiver, and all important information. You can see that status is failed. So you can go to the execution plan and see what exactly went wrong with this call. So we can see that I was calling vote option in the smart contract, and the option was Bitcoin. And in the end, we can see that the error was that we already voted. That's why this transaction didn't pass. We have the bridge. This is FT bridge. We have NFT bridge and cross-shard calls, as explained before. You can also check our documentation if you want to learn how this works in depth. Here we can see that we have Calimero contracts and near contracts, and these are contracts that you need to call in order for bridge to work. They are like talking with each other. This accounts from near and from Calimero. We have the NFT connector, NFT bridge, cross-shard calls, and we also have the permission management. This will allow you to give access to certain accounts that you want, or deny access to certain accounts that you want. You can, for example, do star.calimero. So all the accounts that are going to be able to call the FT connector are going to have to end with .calimero. We have the applications. Currently, we have installed 2 Oracle applications, which we are going to cover later. We can go to install application. Here is the marketplace and what is available and what is also coming soon. We have a fungible token, non-fungible token, and to install an Oracle. So to install a fungible token, for example, from the marketplace, you just need to fill this basic data, click install, and everything will be working. So contract management, this is a really cool feature because it lets you to interact with the contracts from the console itself. You don't need to use CLI, or you don't need to have a full front end of your own for like the centralized application. You can call the smart contract functions from the console. So I'm going to show you how this works. So for example, we can do this, call this near demo NFT, upload the WASM file, and upload the JSON ABI file. What ABI file is, it is basically JSON representation of smart contracts, where you can see all the important information about the contract. And this is used to create the front end, which you can interact with. You can see here that we have functions listed, and these are all the contract functions that we can call. For example, this function is called new, and this is kind call, and this is initialization function. You can also see all the arguments for this call to be executed, what you need. So let's install this. Okay, contract is now installed. And this is it. So now you need to choose the account ID where you want your contract to be deployed on. So for example, let's say again near demo NFT 1, for example. We can just create and deploy this contract. Okay, successful. Here again, we can also see the ABI. And to interact with it, you can just select the function that you want. I'm going to do the new default meta initialization function. Owner ID, I'm going to put this same as the contract name. You can select the account who is going to be the caller for this function. I'm also going to choose near. And you can send the transaction. We can see that the transaction was succeeded, and we can also check this on the Explorer. We can see that new default meta was called, check the transaction, execution plan, and yeah, we can go now back. We can also do NFT default meta to view metadata. So here we can see the spec, name, symbol, icon, and other fields. We can also do an NFT mint. For example, token ID 6, we are going to pass this token JSON metadata, and the receiver is going to be youtube.calimero.testnet. And this is going to be called from the near demo NFT. Okay. We are going to deposit one native token. And we have successfully minted an NFT on Calimero through our contract management feature. We also have security. Here we have tokens. These are out tokens, which are used for calling the RPC, and mostly in so calling the RPC endpoint, but RPC endpoint along with the out token is used, for example, in the centralized applications. So for example, here you can create a new token. You can choose which permission you want to give to this token. So you can do write, create blockchain transactions, view account states, sync account, add full access for updating the Oracle. For example, you can also set the token duration, perpetual if it doesn't have expiry date. So we can also do demo token, generate token, copy it, and this is simply it. You can also revoke the token when you are finished with what you are doing. We have user management. Here you can add users by email, and they will have the access to your private shard. You can also choose which permissions you are going to give them. And yeah, also we have the oracles. So for you who don't know what oracles are basically services that provide real-world data to the blockchain, because blockchain is in a way closed ecosystem and doesn't have ability to read data outside the blockchain itself. So you need something like oracles to provide you that data. For this example, this is an oracle that is giving the blockchain data of Ethereum price. And this is useful because if you want to do, for example, decentralized exchange on Calimero, you need to have oracles so you know how to do swap pairs correctly. So if you want to swap between Ethereum and tokens on for example, wrapped NEAR tokens and wrapped Ethereum tokens, you will need to have oracles to provide you their price so you can exchange at the fair rate. We also have the event hooks. So event hooks are basically services that will give you data about the blockchain, and it will send you events from the private shard to your own service, and you can handle this data on your own if you want to do some kind of analysis. Here you can see that you need to enter your URL. You can add out token. This can be optional if it's needed for your web page or your service. You can also select which events you want to get to your event hook, to your web page. So you can get create account, delete account, deploy account, and pretty much others. And we also have shard management. Here are the custodial accounts. These are basically accounts that are created inside the private shard. Also, we have near-side contracts. These are the contracts that were synced from the near testnet to Calimero private shard. So we can add also sub account and top level account. We can add, for example, demo account near, and it should create this account. Okay, we see it, it's here. You can also add public key to your account, which will provide you the option to use this account from near CLI. So you can directly call the shard from the near CLI and use this account for transactions or calling contract functions. We also have token transfers. So you can transfer these native Calimero shard tokens from account to account. For example, I'm going to choose this one, YouTube, and this one. We can see what is the current balance. And for example, let's send 1,000 tokens. And it was successful. And we can see that the balance was updated. And yes, this is pretty much it regarding the Calimero console. Now we are ready to do the voting. I'm going to share the link now. in the chat. So if you guys want to join and you created your near testnet account, you can vote. I already voted with this account, so I'm going to choose another one just to show you how it works. Kalitest Selam Connect. And we can also see, that people are joining, that they are syncing their account. So let me vote for near. Okay, we see 4 votes for near, 0 for Bitcoin. Nobody voted for Bitcoin. Okay. We can also see here this function called voting, execution plan. So basically you can do private voting on Calimero private chart, and the result can be sent back to the near testnet. So you can do it in private without showing who voted for what. Yes, okay. Yes, this is it. Now I'm going to share the link for the Tic Tac Toe game. So I'm going to do start new game. So how this works, this is basically a multi-chain game because you start it on a near testnet, and the game is being created via a cross-shard call in the Calimero private chart. Okay, continue. We can see here that we are logged in with the near account, but we haven't logged in with Calimero account. So basically, as said before, we can start the game on near, play it in Calimero. Nobody can see what moves we made. And at the end, there is going to be cross-shard call, which is going to have the game ID, who played in the game, and who won. So the outcomes of transactions and contract calls can be proven on near testnet. So let me just check if somebody is joining. I'm going to wait a bit now. We can also just see this on near testnet. Yeah, so we see that we called register player in the Tic Tac Toe contract. Let me just check. Okay. Somebody did do a register player, so they should connect us. Let me just refresh to check. Okay. Okay, we see that the cross-shard call was executed. We just need to wait now for a game to start. Okay. Let me just quickly log out and log in. Okay, we can see the game started, but okay, we can see that it is our turn, so we go first. We're going to put O somewhere here. We just need to approve this transaction, and this will also connect to Calimero private chart and create a function access key that will only have make a move method available. So yeah, I'm playing with somebody. I don't know who. So I'm waiting for their move. Let's check. Okay, somebody make a move. Okay, we see. Okay. Yeah, I guess I'm not gonna win this game. Okay, I'm gonna win this game. Cool. So yeah, basically now the game is ended. We see green as we won. We can see our one game. At the end, we can also check that the crusher call was created. Let me just refresh this. Yeah, 14 seconds ago. And yeah, this should give us who won the game and who played the game. Okay, yeah, so we see that player A, who was that I won the game, and who was my competition. So yeah, this is pretty much it regarding the examples. We can do a bit of questions now. Let me just stop sharing my screen.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Fran. Yeah, we've got the questions in the questions tab, so feel free to go through them in your own pace.
So yeah, I mean, most of the questions are answered. So as a dev, if I want to try out Calimero, I have to pay. So as said in the presentation, if you have an idea or startup and you want to try Calimero, we can set up free trial for you to check how everything is working. Can you show, okay, live demo of Calimero? It was. Can you provide high-level architecture view of components and how dApps work with Calimero? So basically, we have something called Calimero SDK, which is basically a toolkit for JavaScript/TypeScript. It works the same as Near API.js, so it allows you to connect your decentralized application pretty simply with the Calimero private shard. Calimero main, the data flows would be useful to convert to. Don't quite understand with this. So basically, yeah, you need to have smart contracts built in a way that they can call the bridge. And by bridge, I mean cross shard calls. What do you think about Ethereum not using sharding? So yeah, I'm not quite familiar why they didn't choose sharding. Guess it's on them. Is Calimero a privacy sharding solution? Yeah, of course, because I mean explained in the whole presentation that it is private, and if you don't want to share data, if you don't want to have a bridge, it's going to be private. We are going to cover all the infrastructure side for you, and you can focus on your product. Yeah, any more questions?
think that's all the. Did you answer the question on validators? Validated transactions on the shards?
So yeah, do closed set of validators validate transactions on this shard. So actually, you can choose who the validator is going to be. So you can choose your own validators. If there are a few workspaces controlling the private shard, each of them can be validators also. So yeah, it's a bit closed set of validators. I mean, you can choose who the validators want to be, but if you want to prove something happening inside the shard on near mainnet or testnet, that can be also proven and validated by our validators. So let me see.
In the questions tab, I think we've got a few in the main chat coming through. So if you'd like to skim through that, feel free. I know that Oscar has just put something on, but Sandy is responding very quick, very efficient. Great. Yeah, I think most people have had their questions answered. One more has just come through, or a couple more have just come through.
Let me check.
Rachel says, how does the communication between different shards occur in Calimero? What are the limitations, if any? So nearer to the top of the list.
As said in the beginning, so Calimero is basically a sidechain of Near, and you can have multiple sidechains of Calimero. So it works the same as connection to Near mainnet or Near testnet. So it's the same. And regarding limitations, I don't know. I mean, it works the same as Near mainnet, testnet, and Calimero shard. So. Are there any performance only benefits to deploying Calimero with Susan? So yeah, basically on Calimero, the network is yours, your shard is yours. The transactions are going to be fast, and the transactions are going to be free because there's no cost in Calimero private shard. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So can a DeFi private app be built on Calimero? Of course, because we have bridge and because there is Aurora bridge, you can transfer even Ethereum to Near protocol. Also on Near, you have Near native tokens and you have other tokens as well. And everything can be bridged to Calimero private shards. So you can have in the Calimero private shards wrapped Near tokens, wrapped Ethereum, and like every other token, then you can bridge over these two bridges into the Calimero. And also it's good to mention that you can also bridge these tokens back. So you can bridge from Calimero back to Ethereum. So, and yeah, for DeFi, for example, decentralized exchange, it can be a good solution because you can do the transactions privately. Nobody can see what you are exchanging. Yeah, for some of these questions, I would advise you to contact us on our email if you want to learn more about it, because for some I'm not quite sure. So yeah, somebody from my team can leave the link to Calimero documentation and also link to our mail, so you can ask there to get like a detailed answer to your question.
Yeah, awesome. Do you have the mail link or the link to get in contact with you?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. We'll just drop it in the chat if that's okay. And then
Yeah,
our viewers.
please.
Sandy's just put it in the chat.
Okay.
Thank you, Sandy. Amazing. Awesome.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It's always good to have a little kind of the backup support in the background, kind of like, in spy films when you have the main person on the field and then the tech person. Awesome, Sandy. Okay, in that case, are there any other questions? Otherwise, yeah, I think we've kind of covered most things. Paula says thank you for the workshop. Yeah, I thought it was really fun, especially playing Tic Tac Toe with a stranger on chain. Did we find out who the other person was?
No, I don't know. I don't know who it was.
Sock.testnet. It was great. But yeah, that was really awesome. Okay, well, if we're all happy and ready to go and build on Calimero, then I think we can probably wrap up there. So if anyone has any other questions for Fran or the Calimero team, please use those emails that Sandy has just popped into the chat. Make sure to follow them on Twitter as well. I put those links in earlier. And yeah, pretty much that's it. In terms of the Near Horizon Educate series with us at Encode, our next workshop is next week, I believe on the 27th, so next Tuesday, 27th, at the same time as the workshop was today. So you should come and join us for that. I will send out reminder emails as well next week. But otherwise, yeah, this being our only Educate workshop this week, it was really awesome. Thank you so much, Fran, for your time and for your expertise. You're very welcome. Cool. So everyone else, I guess we'll see you in the next session. Cool. We'll end there. Right. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.